and merely throwing some money at the problem doesn't solve that. For some parents, the money is sufficient. The kids are already back in daycare and it's fine. But the government also needs to hear the voices of those who are still struggling and still being affected by this.
The one-time compassionate payment portal for E. coli affected families is now open. One Calgary mom says she has filled the online form, but it will take at least 10 days to see the funds in her account, and none of this is helpful as her sick kids are still at home and she is missing work. In a letter dated September 25th, the Minister of Children and Family Services informed that eligible families can apply for the one-time payment of $2,000 at compassionatepayment.alberta.ca. Minister Searle Turton also put out a Facebook post elaborating the criteria that includes 19 daycares in total, with families whose childcare program was fully closed or directly affected by a partial closure or exclusion order due to the E. coli outbreak. But there is no mention of the secondary community cases.
What they're trying to do is perhaps just cut off, to draw a line somewhere so that the potential amount of compensation they're on the hook for isn't as significant. Because potentially you have a child pass it on to a few kids at a playground who pass it on to a few other people, and the government doesn't have the ability to really limit that.
The program was initially expected to cost more than $2.5 million for nearly 1,300 children. Talking to City News, a Calgary mom who we have agreed to keep anonymous says the communication from AHS and the government has been very poor and she has no clue how and when her kids will be cleared to return to the daycare. Hardcastle says it seems the lessons learned during COVID are already forgotten.
Even if you don't have answers, parents want to hear from the Premier, the Minister of Health, the Chief Medical Officer of Health, what's being done to get answers, what's being done to help them. And that was a lesson in communication, and one that they don't seem to have learned.
Hardcastle says for those parents who end up receiving the one-time compassionate payment, that doesn't change anything for them in pursuing litigation against the daycare, the central kitchen, or even the government. In Calgary, Henna Said, City News.